What is up, everyone? I'm Will Carr. This is the Will Carr Speaks podcast. I can already tell this is going to be a super lit episode. Like we are gonna, this is going to be an episode unlike no other. So I welcome on Lighthouse, the one and only.
I love it.
And we're just gonna dive right in.
Built like a shit brick house, but not fucking 6'10".
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Nephilim, bro. Love it.
You know, I'm part angel. You said you're full angel.
Full angel,
so...
but to be full angel, you got to be full demon at one point, or at least part demon. So I've done the whole rebirth. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But so Blue Lotus, so legal in Colorado. This is Australis Blue Lotus. There's only Blue Lotus and water in here, okay? It's legal here in Colorado. So it's called Roz Light. A good friend of mine makes it. I love this stuff. So there are pictographs or hieroglyphs of aliens, probably Nephilim, to be quite honest, or at least watchers that fell. The Elohim handing, and we're talking about the Egyptian gods, right? The pantheon, handing these blue lotuses to humans. They're huge, right? Wearing these masks and, dressed up in all sorts of crazy stuff, handing the blue lotus to the Egyptians. And it was one of their primary psychedelics. And so, that's what this is. It's very grounding. And then Australis means literally from the stars. The people who make this are good friends here in Colorado. Again, legal here in Colorado. If anyone's interested, they can DM me. DMT is also legal too, so there's no DMT in this. Sorry, just thinking about DMT, which is also fun.
Yeah,
and DMT is legal here in Colorado too. Yeah.
So Blue Lotus. I'm gonna give it a try.
Yeah, go for it.
We're gonna see how the rest of the episode goes.
I love it. Okay, cool. We're going for it. I'll keep pace with you.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Sweet.
All right. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, clean on. My nose is pretty clean, I think.
It's all good, bro. It's all good. Dude, whatever the other half of the Nephilim part is, I'm just, like being mindful. I definitely am not 6'10". I'm just saying that, bro.
It might not be about body weight. How do you feel like that with psychedelics? I've never felt like, because I've used a lot of different psychedelics for different purposes, whether it be ceremonial or, just for fun.
Sure.
And I've never felt like, because I was so much larger, that psychedelics, like I had to use more of them.
Yeah, I don't think you do. It really depends. So while legally using MDMA in other countries, not America, there can be with Molly, if you have a lot of muscle mass, and it's one of the reasons I actually lift weights a lot. Yeah. Your central nervous system can handle more Molly, in my experience. And so, it'll still kind of have that like high, but I think you can just run more energy through your body if you really like channel it in through your heart center. So I think that you can take more, but if you are really connected to your chakra system, whatever mythology you want to use, you can have actually a very strong, experience from a little bit, almost like homeopathy, in my opinion. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Tell me why you have a white circle.
100%. Yeah.
It's a white tattoo.
Yep. Yeah, it's a white tattoo. Yeah, so this is right over my Ajna chakra. Couple things for it. It's basically like a lens. And so to be able to have communication with additional planes of existence. So we have the pituitary gland that people tried to calcify, with fluoride and other, minerals in our water, to basically, in my opinion, have humans be a food stock, either for our flesh, a la Jeffrey Epstein, or for adrenochrome, or even just for loosh, the negative energy that humans can, kind of gas off when they're being tortured. And I believe that our society is actually very torturous. And so I think that a big piece of what's happening in our world is a confinement system and a control system to mine this loosh. So long way of saying, if you want to then communicate with other benevolent beings, helpers, angels, star seeds, Pleiadians, at least the nice ones. I don't think they're all nice in my experience, at least the Pleiadians, no ill towards the Pleiadians, at least not the nice ones. It helps as a lensing to be able to have that clear communication. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. And it looks cool.
Yeah. Drop into that, man. Cause like I've done psychedelics, but I would never say I've talked to other entities.
Oh, for real? Okay, cool.
Yeah. Even in my ayahuasca experiences, it was very much, like the psychedelics and stuff I've done, I've never had like visual hallucinations, which has been interesting.
Okay.
I've had very strong experiences where, And I've always wondered why that was.
It is
Like one
interesting.
thing that I really want, like I've always wanted from
Sure.
doing different psychedelics, is to have different visuals and
Oh,
things.
bro,
I think
you hang
cool.
out. You hang out with me. Seriously, I'm not kidding.
Yeah, but it's like I don't know. I've never. So you would say like during psychedelic experience, you've had like you see and communicate with
Dude, I've seen stuff
entities.
move on the table. Yeah. So a big piece of my job. So hello, everyone. My name is Lightstone. I'm a human excellence coach. I facilitate one-on-one coaching, group coaching, and psychedelic healing sessions with legal psychedelics in Colorado. My lawyer is very clear about this. And I am very clear about this around telling the truth about the work that I do to you all. So you see crazy ass shit. For one thing, you're like, I've renegotiated contracts with people through their genetic lineage with demons, and like it's like fucking people sitting at a table, and like you can feel it, and you see it in your mind's eye. When I am facilitating for another person, I'm usually not on the drugs myself. I'm there holding the container. They're telling me what they're seeing, and I'm having my own experience too. And I can visualize it as well. And I cross-reference. When they say something different than what I'm experiencing, I then check for clarification. Sometimes it's like seeing something from a different angle, or they interpret things differently. But I've literally seen things move on the table. I've had chimes and bells. I have some like Tibetan hanging bells in my apartment where I do my sessions. That will kind of like go. I have plants that'll start to rustle. My cats will start freaking out and will like hiss and like jump and attack things. Yeah, it's really interesting. And that's both on and off psychedelics. But if you think about the Catholics, they've been doing exorcisms for, however many years, the curanderos in South America. I mean, this is part of our genetic and historic lineage since like the dawn of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like with the like Catholics, like when they do exorcisms and things, they're not using any type of substances, or are they?
I mean,
I don't know.
Who knows? So I don't think that they enter into those particular experiences themselves. I mean, unless you're like John Constantine, right? High, probably.
Yeah.
I've done, there's this one time that this client had a haunted house. Their house was haunted.
Yeah.
And I went in and legally had some psychedelics with me. And I told the person that I was working for, there's one of two outcomes here. One, sunrise, there's going to be a dead body. Mine. It'll be a self-inflicted wound.
Yeah.
I will have killed myself in your home. I'm very sorry if that occurs. I'm still alive, so like,
that didn't happen.
Right. Well, when I told this person, I've done this before. So,
yeah.
But this is how the entity that you have here does not have a physical form that can harm me, but it can try and leverage suicidal ideation to get me to kill myself. Right. Or the house is going to be clean. And so we'll know by sunrise. And if there's a dead body there, you just tell the police this guy's crazy, whatever. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who think I'm crazy now, and that's fine. You can do whatever you want. Your government's stealing from you, and Jeffrey Epstein's fucking raping children. So there's other things you should go be worried about, not some dude with a tattoo on his forehead, in my opinion. So if you're angry, so from this perspective, you go into these situations, and for me, I go in with all guns blazing. And so I'll then like almost like fucking Witcher, start taking the potions, and then you start to see things. When you start to see things, they can see you and they interact with you. And there's a lot of predacious stuff. But if you know what to do, you can handle it. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's fucking wild. Yeah.
So like, can you talk about that
experience?
Exactly.
Sure.
Tell me about that.
Yeah. So you get into a bathtub, Epsom salt, and this is like you do a bunch of cool witchy shit. You got a pack, light a bunch of incense. I like to call in helpers. They're usually like, "Bro, you're fucking crazy for doing this." And I'm like, "I know, but it's fun." Like
by helpers, you don't mean actual people there.
No.
You mean like spirits,
non-corporeal entities. Yeah, spirits. I think I don't know. I'm like offended on their behalf. A spirit would be like a much lower level. You would call these things angels, but that's not what they are. They're just energetic light beings, right?
Okay.
Yeah, things that are good, right? And so, not to say that you're being offensive, but I'm just yeah, it's all good. Yeah, all good. No ill will.
I just
it's
know
all
what
good.
I know.
It's all good. It's all good.
I only know what I know.
No ill will.
I know what I know, and I don't know what I don't know.
No, yeah, it's all good. And so I like to be in an Epsom salt bath when I do like hardcore stuff like that. The Epsom salt bath helps you move energy in your own body, the salt. I'll put various crystals inside the bath with me.
Okay.
I'll have music. Sometimes we'll bring a singing bowl, maybe not. Have a bunch of different like talismanic items that can be talismans. This is a talisman. These are magical items for me. And I'll bring, kind of have my toolkit. And shit then gets really fucking intense. And it depends also on how I want to like vector into the situation, what psychedelic I'm on, what experiences the other people in that space have had. Sometimes I don't need to use psychedelics at all. It just helps literally, what's the guy's name? Open the Doors of Perception. I forget who wrote that book, but it's about psychedelics. But literally you're opening those doors of perception to be able, it's like if you're trying to hunt rats and you can't see them, it's a little hard, right? You can set a trap, but I'd rather be able to see the rat. Thing is, the rat's 6'10" and fucking wants to kill you. Yeah, right. Not that you.
But so when you've done this multiple times, where you've went into like houses, spaces, that you would say they're possessed or there's like demons.
There's just shit there, bro. I mean, anyone who thinks that our universe is not populated with a bunch of visible and non-visible entities that are multifaceted and more than we can perceive is living under a rock. And that's why Jeffrey Epstein was able to do the shit that he did. Right. And that our government is part and parcel to this.
People just want to think it's not true.
Bro, there's been no arrest for this Epstein shit. Like, it's insane.
It is wild.
Yeah, it's fucking insane. And like Cash Patel is like up there, like he looks like he's had like electroshock therapy. He's like, everything's fine. Like
he's doing all the hands.
I totally. Do you see that? Yeah. He's like, he's like,
he's like,
right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm like,
so yeah,
dude. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I mean, I would say for anyone at this point, like, if you can't recognize the fact that no one in our government cares about us at all.
Yeah.
And maybe I don't want to make that blatant statement because I do think there are people sprinkled in the government that actually are like genuine people.
Yep.
That do care.
Yep.
But for the absolute most part, like nothing is going to come of this Epstein stuff. We look like the documents and stuff that were, the names are redacted of like people writing like horrific things. It's like, why would this person's name be redacted? We need to know who that is.
Right. Yeah. It's like, I forget what prince it is. I don't want to say the wrong prince's name. He's like standing over a body. Like, it's like, so my understanding, at least according to Instagram, where I get the vast majority of my information.
Instagram and X for the win.
Yeah, exactly. I just made an X account today, actually.
Cool.
I sent it to our social media person. I had gotten run off of Twitter back when I went through my first version of cancel culture. So I started a new one. It was like a whole thing. But on Instagram, lightstone.media, please follow me and I'll follow you back if your content is interesting. But mine is, so you should follow me. Apparently other countries are now looking at this stuff and doing their own investigations that are probably not as wildly corrupt as the United States government, or at least corrupt in different ways.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of cool.
There's other countries looking into this?
So there's other countries that are leveraging now what has been released to make arrests apparently in their own nations. Yeah. Based on people that it's kind of like finally the internet was given like a thing to actually put all of its fucking anger towards. Yeah. That's why it's like, it's so ridiculous for me. Like, a little bit of a tangent, but like people actually want to do something. Right. So if you look at the stuff that's happening in Minnesota around ICE, like, did you see on the internet where there were people doing checkpoints and actually creating a border inside of Minnesota?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. They're armed.
Bro, but it's
with their radios.
But they're literally doing ICE's job without understanding that they are now the new ICE.
Yeah. They don't get the hypocrisy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But you can't make this shit up. My point is people want to do something. And so it's like, okay, now be a social justice warrior against, child traffickers and child rapists. Yeah. There's a lot of evidence. Like we can connect some of the dots here and people are, which is really cool. Yeah.
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 Dude, do you think we're like in this, do you think this is like this spiritual awakening where everything's coming to light, or
revelation, baby?
Or do you think this is just more distraction?
No, this is it. I think we are literally in revelation right now.
Okay, yeah. I am fascinated to know. Yeah. Define revelation for me from your perspective.
So I actually want to have someone on my podcast. I've got them in mind, but they haven't said yes yet, so I don't want to say their name. Who will be able to define what revelation is from a Christian perspective better. I've already had a couple pastors on my podcast, the Stone Protocol show, and our new show, The Prism, here at Let's Do Podcast. We'll have you on that as well, and on my podcast.
And I would love to. Yeah, we'll talk about this more. So.
All of it. I'll speak to Revelation from a non-Christian perspective.
Okay.
Just from my own perspective.
Okay.
I think that there are certain people. So if we believe in reincarnation, if we believe in angels and demons, we believe in other planets, we believe in star seeds, right? These like star seed term makes sense to you?
Yep.
Okay.
You by star seed you mean like someone who's born here on this earth, and we have special purpose.
Yeah. From someplace else, basically.
Right.
Like not native earthling within a reincarnation context.
Right.
And there's a whole slew of issues with that. And probably a lot of people who have some like autistic qualities can be that too. So you're trying to like take a triangle and put it into a square.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, like some sharp edges
trying
are sticking
to exist
out.
here. Yeah.
Right. Like an aquatic being, you're like
The savants of the world and stuff like that.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you take all of that, there's a coordinated effort, I believe, to end the predation on planet Earth. And I'm sure there's a bunch of like weird dead man switches that these like Baal and all these other like fucking horrible demons have. Like, will you kill me? Like all of like North America explodes for some weird reason that is hard for humans to understand. But the, alien shit, I don't know.
Yeah.
And so for whatever reason though, you have these boots on the ground, literally, like that's me clicking my boots on the ground, doing shit. And eventually you can tip the tide and make something happen and force people to play their hands. And if you are hopefully smart enough at a more metaphysical level, you can see more things than whatever like shitty, predacious alien demon ball beings that are there, because I think that a negative entity can only get so large if it's predacious and having to basically a lot of systems will say their chakras spin in the other direction and they can't actually breathe like love light into their own hearts. They have to eat, and so they can only get so big, right? Because they then like it's kind of like the sine wave thing on they
can't self perpetuate.
Correct.
It's not a flywheel. They have to consume.
Exactly. And so it's like it's like the rabbits on an island that eat all the fucking grass and all the rabbits die.
Yeah.
And so, but a being that doesn't need to eat the grass can like breathe into its heart basically, or an angel or an energetic light being can create its own energy, pull it in from multidimensional space, is able to then actually be here in a solid way, while simultaneously like getting hit by these other negative entities. But if you're big enough, you can just kind of take the punch and keep rolling. My point here is revelation. So I believe that we are now at that tipping point where the veils are coming back. And I mean, I like to think that Kash Patel is, I hope, a nice guy at one point in his life. He seemed like he was, and he just like saw some shit. They're probably threatening to kill him, I assume. I don't know. Or his Israeli girlfriend.
I was about to say super hot Mossad girlfriend.
Totally, bro. I'm looking at Yavel.
Come on, Yavel.
Yeah. What you got, bro? Sign me up. Dude, I'll take one of those too. What do you need to do to get one of those?
Kash, I understand why Kash is compromised.
We can't tell you because then we need to take you.
Dude, take me, bro. God, come on. She's a cutie. It's like but I think he probably saw too much. I mean, one of the tweets that he made is like a republic can't be run this way. What is he referring to? But he's still there. But the dude's eyes are whatever. So my point is the revelation I think that we're in now, probably everything in the Bible I think is probably relatively accurate, taken out of context and misconstrued and totally manipulated, but relatively accurate. Enoch, Moses, all these things, Solomon, all of it. But it's also like probably only about 10% of the actual story, right? Of like what's going on. And so whatever revelation would be, there's probably an additional like 90% of information there. And I think that we're in the midst of it.
Well, fun fact.
Sweet.
John the Baptist, who wrote Revelation. I've read Revelation front to back twice.
Okay.
And read parts of it on top of that as well. But at the end of one of the chapters, he very much describes that the angel came to him, handed him a scroll. He ate it. It tasted sour. It made his stomach turn sour. Yeah. He rolled over and went back into his vision. Okay. So when the book of Revelations was written, John the Baptist was tripping on something. Something. Yeah. Like, I don't know what the scroll was. Right. But I've done enough psychedelics to know that it'll turn your stomach sour.
You want some more Blue Lotus?
Yeah. we might in a minute, man. This Blue Lotus is getting me good now. Yeah. This is good. But yeah, I mean, the whole book of Revelations is some type of psychedelic experience. Right. So like when I read that book, I think I read it through the interpretation of this is a guy having a psychedelic experience from God.
Right.
He's being shown these visions,
Yes.
but
or at least something godly, akin to God.
Yeah.
We don't know. Like, is Yahweh God? Is Yahweh just one of the Elohim? Like, we don't know, but something.
That's another fascinating thing. You asked that. Yahweh in Genesis, in the story of creation, Yahweh describes, Yahweh says in our image.
Yeah, bro, there's a bunch.
Like,
there's
it's
a bunch
so
of
much
them.
of
There's
our.
a bunch of them. Yeah.
And I think people don't realize that either, because we often think of God as like this singularity, where in these books, God is describing himself as one of.
Yahweh is describing himself.
Yeah, Yahweh.
And there's one above that's named El and El Elyon. Yeah, super interesting. But I don't want to distract. I'm sorry, I distracted us from Revelation.
Yeah. But this idea that there are these gods, plural.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that is interesting in the Christian religion, because it's in our Bible that Yahweh specifically says man was created in our image.
Yep.
So it's not this like singularity thing on top.
Yeah.
But that's a whole other.
I totally agree. Well, so I mean, for me, how I view that, basically, you take Ra, you have Odin. These are other, basically other deities like Yahweh. My understanding, I mean, kind of, it's like, eventually you have to be like, I have enough data to at least like make a call, and happy to like reevaluate, talk to cool people, take new information, be very open-minded, lens appropriately.
Yep.
But Yahweh, you know, Basset, you know, fucking, you know, the Enochian gods, Enlil, they're all these metaphysical entities that are fighting each other for dominance. It almost feels like they are kind of like pit bosses, and there's one above that that's almost using humans as proxy battlers to like kind of almost like dog fight and dog train. And then you take these Nephilim, where these beings are then literally mating with humans, and then producing
the 200 fallen angels.
100%. Yeah.
Have you read the Book of Enoch?
I have.
I have read it twice as well.
Yeah. We're gonna be great friends.
It's awesome.
I love it.
Dude, the Book of Enoch is epic,
Yeah.
man. Like the Book of Enoch woke me up to like, wow. And you know, because I grew up very traditional Christian, like, you know, went to church on Sundays and Wednesdays. So reading things like the Book of Enoch, like just it brings this like broader awareness of like what, because the Book of Enoch was found with the Dead Sea Scrolls. So it was found with all the books of Moses.
It's
like
legit.
It is very, there's certain like the Gnostic Gospels and stuff. Like I see why people take and want to say like, well, you can't take this as valid because it was found here. There's these certain inconsistencies, but the Book of Enoch is one that's like, I mean, it was right there with all the books of Moses. Like in it, there are no inconsistencies within the Book of Enoch compared to the other Old Testament scriptures. So,
and I mean, remind me, but I think it names like Azrael and another, but not even Lucifer is like the big bad guy either, right? Like I don't think he was mentioned as like one of the prime evils there.
No, there's I'm trying to remember, but
which is interesting because
there's multiple. It's like everyone thinks of just the devil, but there's Baal, there's all these other entities that are talked about in these.
I have a podcast on my podcast where I was talking to a minister, or a pastor, and I mean, no disrespect to him, but I mentioned like there's a difference between Satan, in my understanding of the Bible, between Satan and Lucifer, and it's called Shaitan in Islam, and Lucifer, the light bringer, the morning star, is a different thing. I'm not saying that either are good or bad. I think Lucifer is better probably than, you know, Satan or Shaitan, but it depends on what perspective you take either way. But they're different. And he goes, for us, they're all bad, and they're all the same. And I think that modern day Christianity, and again, I'm not speaking ill towards, you know, my friends who are pastors, please know that. But modern day Christianity, it tries to simplify everything to make it easily digestible. And that's why we take the King James version of the Bible, takes out the Book of Enoch, takes out all these things. And then we have this distilled thing that's actually quite confusing. But if you look at the Dead Sea Scrolls, as you're mentioning, there's a lot of information there. And the people that dive in, and even if we don't necessarily take it literal, did he eat a scroll or did he eat the thing that allowed him to understand the words on the scroll, or whatever it is?
Right.
But somebody fucking dosed this guy,
and
then like gave him information through his ajna chakra. They didn't have fluoride back then,
right? No calcification of the pineal gland at that point. Yeah.
And he's then seeing these visions of all this other stuff, just like in the book of Enoch, where Enoch was risen up and apparently then turned into the archangel Metatron and all this stuff. And these beings, I don't think ever left. I think some of them lost and died and then are trying to be reincarnated in whatever system and cosmology that operates under. But when we look at our world, like, people don't need to be fighting like this,
Yeah, man. They're and do you think the fighting amongst the people is just driven by this like higher level I'm not like higher level consciousness, but maybe it's like this higher level energetic
more powerful consciousness,
spiritual warfare that's happening, and that's being pushed out through the general population.
Like proxies. So if you think about it, so if these entities are so like broken, right, whether we look at the fallen or the watchers, whatever they are, these demons, and I even think of like demons, I think of like almost like D&D, because it's easier to kind of like you can be born as a demon, incarnate as a demon, but not be evil. Now you may have some predilections towards like eating human flesh, right? That's probably not good. But I eat beef. And if you're a demon, like, it's like, well, that's my food. So it's complicated, right? But then you have like a demon that also, like, demon is as demon does, that also does bad. So they're a demon in a demon's body, right? Like, that's what that was made for. And so if that's the case, their spirit is both corrupt and their body is corrupt. And so then they have to then feed, as we were talking about before, literally feed on the psychic energy of other entities. If that's the case, and you look at Baal as a great example, demanding child sacrifices. Okay. What's the most innocent thing? You have a daughter, children, right? I have a daughter too, fucking children. Anyone goes near my kid, you're gonna be very sorry. Right? So I ain't joking. So from this perspective, they demand these child sacrifices, and a lot of these, groups, and the movie Eyed Wise Shut, tried to kind of blow the lid off this, and then I think that guy like died recently after that. But they, usually have to give their firstborn child into these cults as a form of both a control mechanism and as an offering. And so to answer your question, which is a good one, I think about this a lot, and I do believe it is to be true, sadly. But look the world dead in the face, and then hopefully do something about it. I believe they're feeding off of death. So if you look at wars, all of that killing, it's like basically a fountain of that energy that they then consume. And then we can have that then be at the spiritual level of these entities. They're consuming some sort of metaphysical energy. It's called loosh in many kind of starseed circles. And then there's a physical level of it called adrenochrome, which many people talk about, that it can be harvested from the adrenal glands. So the theory goes of children being the highest form of this, almost like blood doping or a blood bag. And you have people who actually take the blood of younger people, and usually in their own genealogy, to then revitalize them. Apparently, I don't want to name any celebrities, but there are apparently several celebrities that have done this for money, or giving money and then receiving the blood.
I've seen clips of people actually talking about it in like almost like
I have done the
secret ways.
Well, and then people say like literally, I was paid money for this thing. Was brought offshore in a yacht because it's illegal in the United States. Gave my blood, was given 10 grand, and like that's the thing that I did because fucking 10 grand's nice, and I'm 20. I
needed the money.
Bro, you want some blood for 10 grand? I don't know. Like,
I don't know. I've never sold my plasma or anything.
I haven't either. I'm nervous to actually like do the 23andMe just because I don't want them to like own my DNA.
I know.
That feels like a bad idea.
I'm scared of anyone having my DNA.
I would never
do it.
It feels like a bad idea.
I'd like to keep that more private.
I mean, I just don't want, I don't know, some sort of weird legal thing there. But yes, I think that there are fucking entities that are negative and predacious. I think that they feast off of the death and sacrifice of human life and other life. Then I think that they have human proxies that then are in this fucking weird flywheel of money, power, sex that obviously is never going to be enough for them. The Buddha talked about this dunka craving. So they're just on a treadmill going, and that's the idiots who like think that it's fun to joke with Jeffrey Epstein about hurting children. Like, how dumb are you to put that in an email? But how crazy do you need to be? You know, like I've sent text to people and I got hit with cancel culture about like you're an asshole, you know, but like not like let's hurt children together, you know, like.
It's a whole other level.
It's just crazy. Yeah.
And it's wild to think that there's really plenty of people out there that are
doing that.
Power. They're in power that are doing that stuff. I mean, clearly. You know, as much as that was actually redacted from the Epstein stuff, we see that that's very obvious. You can't deny that anymore. Yeah. And I think that's what's so it's like disappointing that we know that nothing's really going to come from that. There's not going to be arrests.
I don't know.
You think there's going to be some type of like?
I try to have an open mind of not, and this is maybe like the new age star seedy.
I'm gonna up the Blue Lotus.
Rip it, bro.
One more time.
Yeah.
Maybe more than one more time, but at least one more time.
It's all good.
One more time right now.
It's all good. It's all good. So I try to not, and so I'll lay out a theory for you.
Yeah.
So the theory would be timelines, that there are a bunch of different timelines. And if you say, we don't know if there's going to be arrests, right?
Right.
So far, there's not been any. But they also said that so far they weren't going to release them, and they did.
And they released a lot more. Yeah.
So within this multi-branching timeline theory, and a lot of starseed people are super into this.
Okay.
If you lock yourself into a timeline, you can then go into one of the more negative timelines where then it doesn't happen. And so you kind of have to decide which timeline you want to kind of like be in. Now, you don't necessarily have total control over this, and there may be some sort of soul contract. And I'm not saying I subscribe to all of this. Everything I've said thus far, I actually like do honestly believe, but this I hold as a little more open-ended. I do believe in multiple timelines and multiple universes, but I think it's a little murky.
Multidimensional, yeah.
Yeah, but it gets a little murky, but I think it's an interesting thing, and even how we want to orient ourselves to our environment. I talk a lot about this in my coaching program. If we say there will never be arrests, one, maybe we align ourselves with a timeline that doesn't exist, or maybe we then strengthen that, like it's called like the neurosphere, like that like ideological perspective where that won't happen. Because I believe we're very powerful. I mean, bro, 6'10", right? Yeah. You got something going on, right? Yeah. But seriously, right? Yeah. So if you're saying, well, there won't be any arrests, you send that like charge out.
Right.
And then it almost empowers them to be like, yeah, we don't have to have arrests, you know?
Because people are already accepting this.
Bingo. That's it.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, I can't guarantee that there will be arrests, but let's say there's not arrests, then something even more important will happen. This will be leveraged against the predacious entities even more intensely. And so then, and I empower that like a motherfucker. And then those negative entities, they have to make a choice. They have to play, what's the over under? You know, what's the ROI for them? Do I make some arrests, right? Because they can easily do what the fuck they want. Or is it going to double down into something even worse? Because for whatever negative entities that are here, I think they probably have some like dead man switches or something. Okay. Otherwise, I think there'd be benevolent, like even like some fucking like the equivalent of like some space hick in a camper that would come here and just start shooting people. How bad it is, right? It's just that bad here.
Yeah, it's really like Guardians of the Galaxy
dude,
stuff.
Of some dude just being like, just fuck that guy.
Where's my raccoon with a shotgun, man?
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah, cute bunny. Yeah, but like, seriously, just coming and just be like, I don't even really want to help you guys, and I'm not even gonna help you rebuild, but just fuck that guy because he's so smug. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think that there must be some sort of other system there. So I think that there's a lot of attention probably in some sort of cosmic way. And a lot of the like Galactic Federation people talk about this a lot. I'm not saying that the Galactic Federation is real or is even good, because if they're good, they're really not doing a very good job. Right. Either way, I think that we can empower ourselves here as the boots on the ground to then basically do that good work in the world, even with the thoughts that we have and how we orient to the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think that's an interesting thing to think about. Because like oftentimes I think guys like you and me and a lot of people, I think it's easy because it's fun to talk about like all this high level, like, you know, spiritual, energetic entities, like all this stuff. Like it's fun to talk about. It's fun to think about. And it's fun to like play with the ideas. And it's interesting because it's cool. It's out of the box. But we can all internally embody whatever energy and put that into the world that we want.
Yeah.
And that's something that everyone can actually do. That's like an actionable thing that we all can very much have that power to be, how am I going to live my life? How am I going to exist into this existence? Because not everybody's going to be, giving themselves Epsom salt baths, and
going into haunted houses,
taking all the witch stuff.
Yeah, going to haunted houses, bro.
Haunted houses.
Can you the look
That's
on this?
Not the normal walk.
The look on this woman's face, because like there's one of two things. One, you're gonna find a dead body. Two, your house is clean. And she was like. Then she was like, she's like, well, like 50-50 in her mind. Like she was like, do you need help? I was like, no, you just don't cross. Like just don't come in. Just sunrise. That's it. Yeah. It's so funny. But she's like, oh well,
that's hilarious.
The cool thing too. So you are what you eat, right?
Yeah.
We're currently enjoying Blue Lotus. So
yep.
Thank you, Cam.
Thank you, Blue Lotus.
Yeah, thank you, Blue Lotus. Thank you, Strawless. When we are angry, filled with rage, harassing fucking ICE Border Patrol with our own Border Patrols, which blows my mind. Literally checkpoints. And I'm like, they're like, we need to make sure that you're supposed to be here. And if you're not, we're going to remove you. And I'm like, do you hear what you are saying?
Yeah.
Like, this is a mirror. Look into it. So we can have that anger and rage and confusion, or we can have something other. Hope, love, compassion. I'm even like lukewarm on forgiveness. I think we can only forgive ourselves, right? We say like strong boundaries,
So you don't buy into the concept of like forgiving other people.
I think you forgive yourself, man. Like you can understand why someone did something, but like forgiving another person. So like I have childhood sexual trauma. Okay. So like I had a fucking creepy old neighbor who was just a fucking asshole. And like forgive him. Like I understand what he did. I can forgive myself for being a small child. You know what I mean? And I can have compassion for him. But like, what does forgiveness for a predator look like? Like, I think we can only really truly atone for our own choices. And so he has to go forgive himself. Like that's his job. Like I ain't forgiving him. And I don't have any anger towards him. I don't have a charge there. He's no longer alive, but like, I mean, I got a 9mm now. Like, like if you were still alive,
I guess that's how you define forgiveness.
Yeah, totally.
Because to me, forgiveness doesn't mean I'm saying like what someone did is okay.
Sure.
Or like, you still can have that boundary of like protection.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to hold any type, like what you just described to me is forgiveness.
We can call it that. Yeah. It's kind of like just semantics.
That's interesting. Yeah.
In my coaching program, the Stone Protocol, I dial in really precisely, really tightly a lot of words and definitions.
Yeah.
I've had some other female podcasters on my podcast really try to light me up over it. No pun intended. But I don't know. I'm a male. So, and they're like, that's so masculine. I'm like, like, cool. Thank you for seeing me. Like, is that a bad thing? Like, is it bad to be masculine? And so to have those really tight definitions have helped me. But I'm also flexible enough to be like, then by that definition, then it's forgiveness.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I think forgiveness is letting go of that charge.
There you go.
Like I'm not holding any type of hatred or anything towards that person. Like that's what forgiveness is for me. And that is letting yourself go. That's making yourself free from something that was out of your control.
I love it.
And because we have no control over what other people do.
We have influence.
Yeah, we can influence others.
Yeah.
But we can't make the decisions for other people.
100% not. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, can't do that.
Yeah, we can only do that for ourselves.
I agree. Yeah. And you have a daughter too. I have a daughter. I have an 8-year-old. Highly influence her, but I can't choose for her, and I don't want to. Yeah. Right. But I like try to.
You want to influence her in the right way. Yeah. You want to give her that guidance and that foundation and that rock.
Yeah. To not do OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Have the self-respect for yourself to do to be creative and build things in a way that
not selling your body for money on the internet,
that worships that worships the right things, that puts energy towards things that are fruitful and in an abundant and positive way.
I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this, but I think it's really funny.
Let's hear it.
So there's a woman talking about like why she's doing. I don't think OnlyFans is a good idea. I don't think porn is a good idea. I was married to a former porn. She said porn star. It's a relative term. And And so I don't like porn. Personally, I don't think it's good.
It's not. It's
gross.
Horrible.
I think it's gross.
Yeah.
I think it's gross.
It rots your brain.
I think it rots the people doing it. Yeah. And I think
it's a total perversion of what the sacred act of sex was meant to be.
That one. And my understanding, at least has been told to me, everyone within the porn industry, at least as someone who was very close to me that was in the porn industry, reported that everyone she interacted with, at least on the female side, they all had child sexual trauma, and that's why they did these things. And I can understand someone trying to reclaim their sexuality, but I think there's better ways to do it, and not than like doing that and then like basically like literally infecting other people with whatever you have.
Yeah.
My untangenting, my joke is there's this woman talking about OnlyFans and how much money she's making.
Yeah.
And then it's like a stitch and it clips the other part. And this woman goes, oh man, there's a reason that I never did any of that stuff. My dad kept on saying this thing to me. It was so redundant and so redundant. He just kept saying it over and over and over and over again. What was it again? Oh, that's right. I love you. Yeah. I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, your dad loves you.
Yeah.
No kidding, man. Like, yeah, I mean, so your daughter's 8.
8. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And yours?
Almost 9. My daughter's 9, almost 10.
Cool. Yeah. Mine's 8, almost 9.
Okay. Cool. And so you said you were married to a porn star. Is that
former porn star?
Porn star.
Yeah. That was second marriage. Do not have a child with her.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
wasn't from lack of trying.
So your daughter is
from my first marriage.
First.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And is she's an active mom, or
she is? Yeah. We split time. It's like almost 50-50. We don't do week on, week off, but it's like there's only 7 days in a week. But yeah, it's very, very close to 50-50 based on the week spread.
That's awesome.
Yeah. What's your situation? Just out of curiosity.
I have my daughter mostly full time. She
Wow.
goes to her mom's every other weekend.
Okay. Yeah.
So
wow.
Yeah, that's
a big difference.
There's times where it was less, but yeah, now it's every other weekend.
Wow.
So she, it's like a positive. I think it's a much like positive, healthier thing than it has been at times. There's been some hardship and stuff there for my daughter, but that's all part of her growth and her experience and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And for myself included, to a lot of things to figure out and grow through and work through.
Yeah.
So, that's interesting. So I was thinking that maybe, it was maybe with that, no. Okay.
Thank God.
Thankfully.
Thank God. I can't imagine.
Yeah, man.
I can't imagine.
Yeah. So when you were married to her, was she doing porn while you were married?
No. So that was in her past. It took me after meeting her, and we got engaged very quickly. A bit of a red flag. I know this now at 40.
Right.
And again, I'm not blaming her for that. I also jumped into that as well. That she had, and she talks about this online, so I'm not like telling a story that's not public. Childhood sexual trauma from the ages of 7 to 14, 15-ish.
Okay.
So basically she was raped by her father for solid like 9 years.
Whoa.
Regularly. Yeah, really bad.
Whoa.
So, I have compassion for her. Is horrible. Like one of the worst case scenarios that you can have.
Yeah.
This guy's horrible. And so from this perspective, she talks about this, and I'm not speaking ill of her about this. She needed to reclaim her sexuality, and she did it through the avenue of porn, to do things to her that were worse than was done to her. Right.
Wow.
Interesting concept. Had never thought of anything like that in my mind before.
It's like she wanted to do things worse to herself.
Yes, through
almost
BDSM.
like a way
set the bar, remap the
because
entire...
if I do worse things to myself than things that have been done to me, that somehow gives me my power back.
Bingo. Yeah.
Man,
pretty wild.
Whoa.
Yeah, pretty wild, right? Yeah, right. Yeah.
I mean, but I can see that thought train.
Right. I mean, like if for you sex has been so perverted by a monster, you need to do things more intense to basically like etch a sketch this sketch.
Yeah.
Like now in my mind, because I'm not a fucking rapist, right? I would never think of that. And and I haven't been raped like that, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't need to do that. But from her perspective, like I get it. I think I would have done things differently, not done porn, but for where she was at, I came to terms with it. Mm-hmm. And at least in that time of our life, she was such a magnificent person. And I fell in love with her for a reason. Like, it's not like she's like corrupt through and through. I don't know about anymore. But she was so magnificent at that point in her life, and our interactions and our connection was so deep and so magical, that it took me a solid year and a half to come to terms with her porn. She was in Monster Cox 5. I mean, it's like, can you imagine? Dude, I had a email ticker, Google will tell you if your name pops up on the internet. Yeah. It was her name and Monster Cox 5 with a picture too. Oh, no. I'm just fucking working boop 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 boop. I'm a writer. Oh, I got an email. Fucking not cool. So she then kind of sunsetted that part of her career and then moved into other things, and really reclaimed herself and was doing very cool stuff. And that's how we met. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's an interesting story.
Wow.
But yeah.
Yeah. Man, that's
wild.
Interesting.
It's wild. Yeah. 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 Someone I think did not say those magic 3 words to her.
Yeah. No,
I love you.
I love you.
Yeah. At least not in the right way.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. How do, what's the, what do you feel as a father is the most important thing we can do for our daughters?
For me, it's to be able to instill within her the confidence that she can know what she wants, know her boundaries, communicate her boundaries, and then enforce her boundaries, whatever that is.
Yeah. Communicate boundaries, enforce boundaries.
Yeah. Know them and be solid, communicate them to her environment, and then enforce them. And the enforcement may be, Daddy, I need some help.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm happy to enforce.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go. She doesn't need to be the one front line.
We're gonna start a daddy enforcement game.
Dude,
brother.
Let's do it. Sure, we'll be at the playground. My kid goes to BCSS. It's a great school. Principal's great, teacher's great. I love the community there. But some of the kids are, whatever. They're doing, some of the boys are not being nice. And she'll run up and she points. And it's she knows what she's doing. She's smart. She points, she goes, that one. And I go like this, and the little boys all scatter. Yeah. And it's just, but I think that understanding of being solid in herself. Yeah. So when someone tries to press in on her, she can lean back, and it may be to move out of the way, you know, and to get out of the situation. I was talking to a friend of mine, and her father did not teach her this. And she would find herself in these situations where she's 14 at a nightclub. Don't know why her parents thought that was a good idea.
Yeah. Right.
And her ride was basically telling her, either you're going to have sex with me or I'm going to leave you here.
Whoa.
And she was like, well, don't want to be left here, in the middle of nowhere. So I'm underground rave. So I guess I'm having sex now. So to not get oneself into that situation.
Right.
And I think as a father, that's our job,
to make sure our daughters never get into that spot.
Are smart enough to not have that come up for them, and value themselves enough that they are not looking for external validation to go to a nightclub at 14.
Right.
What are you doing? Now I know for this woman that I'm talking about, her father's just a piece of shit. She no longer talks to him. He's a bad guy, but it's to prepare our daughters, in my opinion, to be strong, but then also not be strong in a predacious way or in a way that basically tells people, you need to do exactly what I say. And then they just become another form of a control system that isn't appropriate either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
man. Yeah. I think about that a lot. Because obviously as dads, we, there's probably nothing more that I think about than my daughter.
Yep.
And how am I going to protect her? How am I going to set her up for life? Mm-hmm. It's cool. Really in the last, we're at this point, your daughter's 8, mine's 9, about to be 10. They're really starting to become obviously we're going to be protective of them forever.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter's going to be 35 and I'm still going to be if you need me to go and fight someone, call me.
Yeah. Seriously.
But they're getting to this point where they're they can be self-sufficient. They can, you talked about being able to push back and enforce their own boundaries.
Yep.
They're getting to this point where they actually can do that. Yeah. And that's really cool to see, honestly. Yeah. And just trying to give my daughter those tools to be you are incredible. You are amazing. You can literally do anything that you want in life. Make good choices.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's that simple.
You want to get your dog out of my food?
I do not
consent. I got food over here, bro. Give out.
We've got a dog in the studio.
We got a dog in the recording studio. Bro, I got food. That's my lunch.
Don't eat. Don't eat our food.
Don't
eat our
no,
food.
not move the food. Move the dog. Give me my bag back. No, I don't consent. This is my food, and it's okay. No, I want my stuff near my stuff. Thank you. I love you, bro.
Oh, this is great.
This is hilarious.
This is fun, man.
Babysitter is over.
Okay.
Oh no.
Yeah. And that's the healthy boundary, you know.
Yeah.
This is my space. I don't consent. Thank you. No, thank you.
I mean, he's such a cute little dog.
I know. I used to train dogs.
Here, I have a question for both of you.
Okay.
Being honest, brother.
And you speak about boundaries and stuff. How you can put a healthy boundary to your daughters, and like how you use that in your daily life with your business partner, with your partners as well.
Man, I think, you know, healthy boundary setting just comes from having a really good awareness of what you value and what's important to you. And then having the self-respect of knowing that I not only can, but it's my obligation to set these boundaries.
Yeah.
You know, and I think so that comes from first knowing what you actually value. Because if you don't know what is important, then you can't set those boundaries. And that's why I think like when it comes to like teaching our daughters, it's teaching them what do you care about, what is important to you. So that way they have that strong moral compass that they then can go and defend. Because if you don't know what to defend, it's hard to defend it, right?
100%.
If you don't know what to stand up for, it's hard to stand up. And so I guess that's how I would define that. What about you?
Yeah. And so question is healthy boundaries, but with business partners.
And with your daughter.
And with lovers.
First with your daughter.
And
your partner.
Yeah.
And
then
then
business partners.
partner.
Yeah.
And with people
Yeah.
you train. Or whatever.
So I think it first comes down, I'm just looking here, Yuval's over here. So I think it first comes down to really understanding what you want and your own values. So let's use this little example with a dog. I want my bag next to me and I don't want the dog near me. And so I communicate that. It's fine. I've zero charge, but like I want my bag, I want my things, and I know my boundaries and I'm okay. I'm not mad about it. And then I communicate that verbally and then I enforce my boundaries. And I enforce the boundaries by saying I do not consent. Like, no, like it's totally fine. You moved the bag over there. No, I don't want my bag over there. I want my bag right here. Right? It's my bag. I got shit in there. It's got my wallet. It's got other stuff. Right. And it's inappropriate for me to have that outside of my purview. And so the same with my daughter. If I say, hey, she wants to get a new kitten, right? We used to have 2 cats. One cat emancipated himself. It's a nice way of saying he ran away. Okay. He's in a better place. No one in the family other than my daughter liked him. I didn't like him, and the other cat didn't like him either. And so it makes sense that he left. And so I teach my daughter, if you want a new kitten, you have to really invest in the cat that we have now, right? Like you have to show me that you really love this cat, because then we're going to have a little kitten that grows into another larger cat that you then don't like. And then I'm stuck with 2 cats. And I love my one cat, but it takes a lot. And so helping her understand, okay, what is it that you actually want, Freya? Do you want a lifelong companion here? Or do you just want this cute little play toy for 4 months as a kitten? That's not fair. Do you want to be the type of person that just wants to then have something and discard it? Or do you want something long-term? And then with a business partner or a lover, I want to get married again. And so I optimize for long-term committed relationships. I have plenty of sexual opportunity. I'm a professional dancer. I'm a fucking bodybuilder, like whatever. I can go on Instagram and message some woman and whatever. But that's not what I'm looking for. And I definitely don't want whoever I marry to have that same orientation too.
Yeah, good point.
Totally. I don't want my next wife, to be very honest, like whoring around.
Yeah.
And so from this perspective, then it's a matter of know what you want, communicate it, and then enforce it. But then enforcement doesn't mean like, you notice I'm not like fucking kicking your dog. I'm not being mean to him, right? I'm gently pushing him out of the way. And I'm showing him, no, this is my food, because he can smell there's like literal food in there. It smells great. I eat good food. I'm going to eat it after this.
If I was a dog, I'd be putting my nose inside that bag too.
Dude, it's like dogs go right for the vagina. Like, I don't blame them. Like,
I eat them a lot of food.
Yeah, it smells great, bro. Yeah. You ever notice there's
By the way, we're talking about food. You ever try
Oh man, you got.
Oh, what are these? Okay, what are these? Okay,
these are my protein bars.
Okay, all right, bison tallow bar.
Bison tallow.
All right, what are the ingredients? Let's check it out.
Yeah,
peanut butter, raw honey, whey protein, isolate collagen. All right, dude, can I dig in? Can I try one?
Dude, take it.
All right,
yeah.
love it. All right, sweet. I'm gonna have some.
Eat it now if you want.
All right, let's do it. I'm gonna have.
There's no way. This Blue Lotus is making me not hungry.
I'm always hungry, bro. I'm cutting right now, so I'm super hungry. All right, I don't normally indulge like this. This is gonna be good. Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
You have a follow up?
No, I love that. I have a.
This is really good.
Holy
shit! Can I take one
yeah,
for the
man.
road?
Yeah, take a couple.
Can I get a like a QR code and try to sell your?
Yeah, man. I'll get you an affiliate link for sure.
Yeah, give me affiliate. Bro, that'd be great.
First about the bars.
Oh my god.
It's really good, really high quality. You're eating them and you're feeling them. I wish we have that kind of bars in the military. We got shitty bars in the war we went, and that's killed us.
Well, most food stuff is just fake food.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Processed in order to give us something to eat. Like that's the thing. These are all real.
Holy shit! 21 grams
food.
of protein. It's a good spread.
And just to understand, what is like comparing that to this really high quality bars, the price for other bars?
$4 a bar.
That's great.
I mean, it's the same. It's like a premium bar price. I mean, you can find $2 or $3 bars, but they're gonna be junk.
Right.
So,
no, everything here is great.
Yeah, 21 grams of protein, bison tallow.
Yep. 16 grams of fat, 16 grams of carbs. That's a good balance. So there's gonna the 17 grams of fat. There's gonna be calories and fat. There's nothing wrong with fat. Particularly it's coming from a good source. And I'm reading this as Lightstone, as like a fucking fitness guy, not as I'm like diving in. 21 grams of protein, good balance. Peanut butter, number one ingredient. What's the asterisk here? Organic.
Asterisk means organic. Yeah.
So organic. You can't have any. He's stepping on my thing. You can't have it. Raw honey, excellent. Whey protein, isolate, collagen, grass-fed beef tallow, cacao nibs, natural flavors, natural vanilla, extract, sea salt, cinnamon. This is great. Tastes really good.
Thanks,
yeah,
man.
Yeah. How do you because I know a lot of companies will put like random bullshit in it as like emulsifiers and like to keep it like either congealed or so it goes bad. How do you get around that?
You just gotta make them fresh. Okay. And I think that honestly, if you just seal and package stuff right, it's really not a problem. The reason it's that flywheel effect, right? The more junk that's in there, the more emulsifiers you have to make the junk seem like it's not junk.
Right.
So if you just have real foods, real food, you don't need caking agents and
that makes sense.
Emulsifiers and for real food.
Well, if your goal is, what is it? A lot of the seed oils, they were used as gun and tank lubricants. I don't know if you're familiar with this.
Yeah.
And so they were like,
canola oil was a lubricant for vehicles.
Right. Yeah. Like in World War II.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, well, the war's winding down. How can we get this shit into every American home? And we just start putting it into food. The whatever demon predatory mind would think that the type of thinking that would necessitate that hates humans. Intrinsically has to hate humans.
Oh yeah. To want to put that in our food. Same thing with like food colorings and all that stuff. Yeah. Like we know what that does to us.
Yeah. Wow.
It's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a group of people that want to make humans consume this
and to harm your children.
Awful stuff.
And to harm your children.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And they worship a deity named Baal and others.
Yeah.
And others.
And you look at like what's in baby formula. And the baby formulas, it's like corn starch.
Thanks, Nestle.
Chunks.
Yeah.
Like it's horrible. Like most
it's not for you, bro.
Yeah.
That's wild. So then the question comes down to, okay, what do we do? So they're aliens, they're demons.
I love how full 360. All right, one more round.
Rip it, bro.
One more round.
Let's get it.
This Blue Lotus
is pretty good, right?
Yeah.
I'll hook you with some.
I have a question for the aliens and demons.
Okay, lay us on us. Okay. First off, Yavel, I love you so much. You're such a goofball. You're becoming one of my best friends. You're so silly. I love you. Your dog, though, bro. Let's go. All right, go.
So first, we have here a mic behind the scenes. Like most of the time, it's not happening in podcasts. But there is a question that I want to ask both of you. You speak about angel, about demons. You speak about to be a full angel, you have to be a demon. So I will want to ask you, like, and I'm sure we will be able to ask more questions after you will answer that question about the transmission from to be a demon to angel.
Yeah.
What is like your personal story and what is cost about that whole, because you speak about that a lot.
Yeah. So let's think about it first on a metaphysical level and then a real level, like on for people. So
yeah,
if we take the book of Enoch with the Watchers and the Fallen, so you have these angels. Let's even kind of take away angels and like look at them more of like just beings that are like aliens almost. Okay.
Yeah.
They're powerful, right? Could be more akin to like jinn or something from Islam. Part of me kind of thinks that Shiva is a jinn, but I don't know. Either way, they're not necessarily bad yet. But then they come down, they mate with females. We have the Nephilim, and then they start actually changing their own genetic code, and they start creating things that are quite monstrous, like monsters almost, basically.
Yeah.
So then we have what was once good, now corrupted. Oh, I have that same water bottle.
Oh,
so
nice, man!
That's
you got to have the copper water.
Dude,
bottle,
I drink out of a lot of copper.
That's the way to go.
I literally just set out for what I'm gonna do next with my friend with the legal NN DMT here in Colorado. Going to I set out copper things for us. So you then have now a lineage of beings that are corrupted, and we can think about like original sin and all these things from the serpent. Some people would say then like the Dracos of like starseed stuff. And so you can start off as an angel and then become a demon and then be born as a demon, but some of them would remember what it's like to be an angel. Others would just incarnate into or have a fresh new existence as just a bad demon. And they don't even remember what the high heavens would look like, right? So that's a whole thing. Okay, that's maybe mythology, maybe a cosmology, or some sort of psycho-spiritual way of approaching one's own life if we want to just be reductionist.
Yeah.
So if we then think about my own life, right? I think that's the question that you're asking, Yuval. When I think of myself and what transformation I've come from and come around, I've been through. I love he's like sitting down. I know animals did me. Myself in the past, I needed to go through hardship. I needed to temper myself, and I had profound amounts of childhood sexual trauma, profound amounts of emotional trauma, and those things then I believe are my greatest assets. But until I healed those wounds, really healed the demonic parts of me that was inflicted upon me from my environment, I then wasn't able to unlock the true, I would say, majesty of what I was, the true gifts of who I was. We can think about unlocking our gene keys. So I'm Nordic. I have Jewish ancestry covered in Sanskrit. So I have, the Indian, Indian continent as well. I did, this is probably weird for folks, but I did like a blood trade with a half Japanese, half Chinese woman. She wanted some, white blood.
Wait, what?
Well, to get gene keys. I know it's weird shit. To get gene.
I've never even heard of this.
Gene keys. So you can do it energetically. It's just called having sex with someone, where you swap fluids, right? When you come inside of someone, right? But so if you think of Yahweh has gene keys, literally is a being.
Yeah.
Mates with others, Nephilim now.
Yeah.
I mean, you're like 6'5" or 6'10". How the fuck does that happen, right? But nobody. How many other people are that, right?
Yeah.
If you think of these men of renown, you have like Goliath. You have what is the guy from Gilgamesh, right? He's Nephilim, right? Literally Nephilim.
Yeah.
So it's like you think of Zeus and Hercules. So these are Nephilim. Clearly, they're Nephilim. So you have the gene keys in you, and gene keys more of a starseed term. You have these gene keys in you. You can then unlock those powers. Well, I don't have any Asian genealogy in me. Right. So I have many. I lived in Japan, Nihongo Hasu. I speak Japanese. So my soul can harmonize with aspects of itself. I mean, I do Bushido, Tai Chi, Taekwondo, Shaolin Kempo. I lived in 4 or 5 different Buddhist monasteries. I have a lot of East Asian subcontinent experiences.
Okay.
If you believe in reincarnation, past lives there, right?
Yeah.
To actually have, bro, can you get off my shit? To have that then come inside of my body, you then, if you want really physically, you'd need some of that blood in you,
Yeah.
So you do a blood swap. I mean, apparently these celebrities doing blood doping over other locations. So to answer your question, Yavel, you have these negative experiences, and sometimes until you have those sharp edges polished, you can hurt other people. I've got 2 ex-wives. I mean, I don't know what your relationship was like with the mother of your child, but I'm not perfect now. Certainly wasn't perfect then.
Absolutely.
And so that's that coming back into the grace of who we are, true in our core. It's a long answer, but
yeah. Well, I think man, I mean, separating the difference between, because I think we as humans, it's what makes us so special.
Yep.
Like we have the ability to fall from grace.
Yep.
And it's like the illustration of a child, right? They, a child is born innocent and they can fall from that innocence, but then you become empowered in like the knowing of the acknowledgement of what's good and like what it really means to be not pure, but to be genuine.
100%.
Or like, and so like we as humans have that ability to, and I think that's one thing that like separates us from, earlier you don't want it to be called spirits. They're these entities or once they fall, it's like, cause that's what the book of Enoch said, like 100%. the 200 fallen angels, they're cut off, man.
Yeah.
They don't have the opportunity to go back to grace.
According
to the book of Enoch.
According to the book of Enoch.
Yeah. According to the book of Enoch, in the way more that type of theology would be presented.
Right.
But you would argue that they do?
I think everyone has a redemption path. Everyone has an atonement path.
But they're not.
If they choose it.
So you don't think that's unique to like a human soul?
Which? The ability to redeem oneself?
Yeah.
I think that the concept that humans are somehow special in that way, it's kind of like, I think about it from like video game perspective. I don't know if you played D&D or like Skyrim or whatever, where there's, you got your elf, you got your gnome, you got your orc, and then humans are like a little squishy in comparison to a lot of these other, because not all of us are fucking 6'10", bro. I love it. I respect it.
Or jacked like yourself.
True, exactly. But the orcs are more jacked, right?
Right.
And the elves are more swift or whatever. So they usually give humans like some sort of perk, maybe two extra abilities or whatever. The thought that humans, and I think this is a very Christian notion, the thought that humans are somehow like super duper 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 special in some way. I'm sure there is some magical specialness to humans, but it's a very human-centric perspective. Yeah. I think that entities, beings that have a heart chakra, everything can come back and atone. And it's all coming back to source. Whether or not they want to, and they do, is up to them. And I think some entities can probably just fizzle out and go into entropy and just disappear, but then that's then scooped back into source.
So do you think demons have heart chakras? Do you think they have the same
chakras? I think everything has a heart, but it can be so completely atrophied and shut down. A lot of people believe that these fallen, their hearts are just dead. I mean, it's like a vampire, right? It still has a heart, just is no longer beating. But you hit it with a stake and it goes into torpor.
Interesting analogy there, because a vampire, man, we're down a rabbit hole. A vampire would have a dead heart, but you stab it through the heart and it still matters. Right?
Still matters, bro. Yeah,
it still matters.
So I've had some experiences on psychedelics where I've encountered entities that they didn't think they had hearts. And I go in, you're sifting through just like filth and yuck and atrophy, and sometimes there's like mechanical bits and bobs because they've got like weird AI shit. I'm like, there it is, I found it. They're like, oh my God. And you go, and you breathe in your own heart, do a little transfusion, and they're like, oh my God, I regret so many of my choices, usually every single time. Oh my God, I've really made a lot of mistakes. Yeah, you did, and that's okay. What's your atonement path look like?
Yeah. That's interesting. I mean, is that like your favorite thing? Like, what is your favorite thing that you do in life? Like, what is your what is it that you?
I mean, my
love
favorite
doing
thing
the
in
most?
life.
Yeah, like as far as like, outside of like being a dad
Sure.
or like doing,
Yeah.
some of these, like, we're talking about, we've talked about psychedelics, we're talking about
Sure.
demon work. You're talking about breathing into the heart of demon entities.
A predacious spaceship that harvests. So this particular energy literally will snatch up a thing, put them in pods inside of its own body. It's a biologic, and then run some weird matrix inside of it to have a predatory and leverage the hearts and the heart energy of these other entities so it can do transdimensional travel, because it didn't have its own heart. And then I talked about this, I think, on someone else's podcast, I don't remember, but I tell this story, and it was because it's like one of the weirdest experiences I've had.
Yeah.
And I then help them understand, no, you actually, weird fucking spaceship squiggly thing, have a heart, and then transition that entity and its class of entities, those that wanted to basically find an atonement path, they became like glorified in a good way, like paramedic ambulances, because they still had the fucking med pod bays. They could scoop beings up and then heal them.
Whoa.
Right? So that's the atonement path.
Yeah.
So I love doing that. It's that and sex.
Are your two favorite things?
Yep. Ding, 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 ding. And I currently do not have my next wife to have sex with. So I'm just doing a lot of the other one now.
Yeah. Do you practice semen retention? Is that something?
So they say like for your prostate, that's not great. I'm 40. So like, I don't know. I still masturbate. Like I find, so I take performance enhancing drugs too. And so like, I have to kind of like ride that edge of like, my body is no longer producing testosterone in the same way that other bodies do. So it's actually good for me to like kind of have that chakra active. There's times in my life where if I am only like up in these higher chakras and don't actually have those lower chakras activated, it's not great for me. And I'll still like get hard, like but I like to have a balanced system. Yeah, for me. Yeah. But I know other dudes are like really into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it can be a challenge. It's like for me, the practice of semen retention is like a discipline thing.
No, I do not consent. I do not consent.
It's like a discipline thing. So it's about different phases of life, right?
Yeah.
Because also it's like, I want to, you want to put that energy towards whoever your next partner is.
Totally. That's why I don't.
Whenever that manifests.
That's why I don't sleep around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you in a relationship or dating?
No, I'm single. And currently, it's been it's been a while since I've had an orgasm. I've been doing released.
How long's a while? I'm just out of curiosity.
I think like a little over 3 months.
Oh wow!
Since I've been doing the semen retention.
Okay,
thing.
cool. Yeah.
So it's been an interesting trip.
Yeah.
And it's like a discipline. It's like a mind over body thing.
Yeah.
And I think like everything is like about waves of flow, right? Like I don't think it necessarily it's like something that you need to do all the time or like whatever. It's like right now I'm in this where like I want to be mentally able to tell my body who's in charge.
There you
go. Because on like a spiritual level, right? Like we are our soul inside this meat suit. And the flesh, our flesh has desires and our flesh tries to control us. Our flesh tries to tell us what to do. And so how can we mentally be like, no, I'm in charge of you. Yeah. It's been an interesting journey, honestly, doing that. I had a couple wet dreams.
Okay, yeah, bro.
And some people I might need another hit of Blue Lotus to get on this rabbit hole.
Yeah,
but like, no, I didn't know you could have wet dreams as an adult.
Oh, yeah.
Like
what was your dream of?
Like 12.
Yeah, what was your dream of? Were you having sex with someone in your dream?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, a lot of people believe that you are spiritually having sex with someone.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, what was your? I mean, like, in that light.
Yeah, I would say I've had two wet dreams, and I'll even say one that I I will say I almost had a third wet dream. This is the interesting one. It was with, I'll say in the dream, it was someone that I knew from my past.
Okay.
And I was like, in my dream, I was able to be like, no.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I'm not going to sexually engage with you.
That happens to me a lot. Yeah. But sometimes I still do it. Yeah.
And I woke up.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I subconsciously was able, or like, because that is on like some spiritual level. Like, where was I? Like, what was I doing?
You're there.
I was there.
Well,
I was
a lot
aware.
of people believe that our dreams, we are astral projecting out and actually doing things. Like having sex with people in this case, very specifically.
Yeah.
Having sex or saying no to sex.
Yeah.
Yeah. When it doesn't serve us.
Right. Because it was like, I was able in that moment. And I was like patting myself on the back at the end of the day, or, you know, like when I woke up, because I was like, man, like I was so strong, even in my subconscious, that I was able to say no to such like a primal, because it's so tough, man. Like there really is, there's nothing that feels better or is more fun.
But there's nothing that feels better and is more fun when you have sex with someone that you love.
Absolutely.
Or at least you enter into a like mutual container, knowing exactly what that's for. And like, even if it's like cardio, but you know what you're getting into and you're like totally solid in yourself and you're co-sharing, you know, the Visky's Pisces is like the overlapping circles like this, like, you know what that centerpiece is and whatever you're co-creating, because then it's great. But if you know what you want, this is the same boundaries thing. If you know what you want and then you tell people what you want and then you enforce that, then nothing feels better than to say no. And like where I'm at now in my life, again, like professional dancer, I'm a belly dancer, I'm a go-go dancer, like they're like beautiful women. And like there's beautiful women who are like, I ain't dating anybody, you ain't dating anybody, like and I'm like, oh man, I do, but like that's not where I'm at in my life right now. And some of them are like, you know what, I really respect you for that. And they look at me like, you're missing out. I know that I am on that level.
Right.
But then others, I'm like, but if you want to like go out and like have a coffee with me and like enter and see if we are compatible for a relationship, then like, let's do that. Like, that's what I'm interested in, because I want to get married. I'm like saving myself for that person.
Yeah. Do you want to have more kids?
That's a really hard one. Yeah.
I for sure do.
Oh, do you? Okay, cool.
100%.
Okay, yeah. How do you know that? That's so, how old are you, by the way?
35.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You said you're 40?
I'm 40. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know I want to have more kids.
Wow. And you just know.
I know it.
Good for you. That's cool. I respect that.
Yeah. Like I think, well, my favorite thing, so many things I do in my life that I love. I love being a dad.
Yeah. And you have not just one, or
I just have one daughter.
One. Okay.
Yeah. And I think, you know, I was 24 when my daughter's mom got pregnant. I was 25 when she was born.
Yeah.
So,
bro, you got to keep spreading those Nephilim genes though.
For real, right? Dude, when you're 6'10", man,
it's a gift. It's a gift to
you
humanity.
gotta give it to you. Yeah, I gotta get those genes out there,
gotta
man.
get them out, bro.
You know, I'll just be like Elon Musk at a certain point and just like have like 7 different baby mamas.
And like the names are gonna be just like fucking weird symbols at this point.
X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
But no, I think like, you know, you talk about how you're actively looking for your next wife. You want your partner. Like, I have always known that I want to have a partner to raise a family with. Yeah. And so just being me and my daughter has been an incredible experience. Has really taught me like what's important and what I care about. And really has helped me come to understand who I am as a man, and who I am as a spiritual being, who I am as a leader, who I am as a person who is responsible to make a positive impact and
how to be kind.
Things.
That for me is how to be kind.
Yeah. How to be a girl dad.
Yeah.
Like being a girl dad is different. You know, like we want to raise our girls to be tough, but at the same time we have to also be soft.
Heart led. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard.
And so, I know for sure, like ultimately that's what I want.
That's cool.
And so that's what I'm trying to like save myself towards, or like, energetically put myself towards.
And so then you don't want your future wife, whom you want to impregnate, to be touring around, to be very nice. Just put a finer point on it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I don't want to be doing that either, because otherwise that's what I'm going to attract.
Bingo.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
You're going to attract what you are putting out.
Yeah.
And so, I want to, I just want to
do Blue Lotus with the homies.
Bro, do some Blue Lotus with the homies.
and work on myself and improve myself and be the version of myself that I know I am, in order to call in that person.
And then attract that person of a high quality. Yeah. So one of the things that I've been just been like chewing on is I don't want to fall in love with someone's potential, but I want to fall in love with someone's actuality. But I also enjoy women who are youthful and vibrant, and so they are then sometimes younger on a timeline where they're still becoming, and that's like a weird fucking like catch-22 there.
It is,
because it's like, okay, well, find someone who's 35, 40 and they figure some of their shit out, but then let's say in a good case they've got their shit taken care of and they're not like baggage like Chernobyl nuclear meltdowns. Bro,
there's some out there.
I'm so sorry that someone else hurt you. Is how
sorry
that
your dad didn't say I love you.
Right, seriously, like that was not me though, so please stop yelling at me. Thank you. Okay, I need to ask you to leave my home now, or not come visit me. Okay, great. So let's put that someplace else, so we can have someone who then is like got their shit figured out, but I don't know, I want to be part also of that person's journey in my mind. This is just what I'm wrestling with. I'm just like throwing it out the table. I'm curious your how you're like chewing on this too. And it's like, how much is like where on that spectrum do you land? I also then believe in like one single person for me in my mind. And I do believe that that's true, but like maybe I'm wrong. I don't fucking know. And so then it's like, I leave it up to that other person to choose. And so then it's like, well, which one is it? And it's like, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It's madness.
It's interesting on that, to comment on that last part. I've been in the last year or so really thinking like from a more like logical standpoint of the thought process I've been having, and which has shifted very recently, was you can fall in love with anyone, find the boxes, find the things that you want. But then as I've been meditating and praying on it more, it's like, no, I'm not. It's not just finding someone that checks boxes. It's like, because what you just described, you've got this youthful, having things figured out, how much baggage is there, blah, 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 or in some of the boxes for me is like, I'm 6'10". Are you going to give me 7-foot sun? Like I think about stuff like that. Like, are you an athlete?
Yeah.
Like,
and is 7 foot sun a good thing?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And which I think it is.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Fucking go for it, bro.
Yeah. I'm
get that basketball money. Get that basketball money.
But it's like, no, I want to put that energy out there that there is a soulmate.
Yeah.
That there is.
I believe it.
Like,
I believe it's so fucking.
Yeah. And I've come full circle on that because
Okay.
I've spent the last year, and I would say almost even the last week.
Yeah.
Is really when that shifted for me.
Okay.
Of being like, no, I don't want to accept that I can just find someone that checks the boxes. I'm going to be like, okay, you're my wife because you check these boxes for me.
Right.
It's like, no. And so I guess to answer your actual question is leave that up to divine.
Yeah.
Leave that up to whatever God has in store.
So then how do you not, and this is where I'm like, I'm so
yep,
chewing on this. How do you
together,
then
please.
not, please.
Can we figure this out right now?
Can we, like, who do we need to call to fucking airdrop in soulmate? So how do you then not crown too early when you have a potential match and it like lines up enough? And so I'm playing with that like distance. How do I get close enough to like interact and not give too much, not like hold back too much, not enter into the sexual container too quickly, but then not be like playing games like, oh, she texted me, I'm gonna wait a day. Like I hate that shit. Like, no, I'm gonna text back appropriately. So how do you not crown the queen too early? If you're like, oh, well, maybe this is the soulmate, maybe this is soulmate, because if you're not quite sure and you're leaving it up to whatever the divine is trying to give you.
Yeah. Man, I almost think it's just like not overthinking it.
Yeah.
Is what comes to me here.
Sounds like good advice.
Like, yeah, because I think we
me.
overthink it too much.
Yeah.
Like, it's either going to be or it's not going to be. Like, we can't mess it up.
Yeah.
Like, that's been a thing that's come to me a lot lately.
Yeah.
Like, I can't mess it up.
Yeah.
Unless I'm like intentionally.
I definitely messed my life up.
Yeah, but even like you messed your life up, but didn't even that lead you to the life you have now?
Yeah.
So it's like, were you really messing your life up, or
Is it learning?
or was your higher self knew you needed to make those mistakes and
Yeah.
ultimately get to where you're
I
at
agree.
right now?
Yeah.
So it's like, no matter who you date, no matter who you encounter, no matter what did I make a mistake by sleeping with this person? Did I make a mistake by texting this person? Very drastic ends of the spectrum there. It's like, is any of it, or am I just learning and trying to find? And then ultimately, is God going to lead me to that perfect actual soulmate? And that's what I feel.
Yeah. So yes. And why then is it not, why do not these two beautiful angel women walk through the store right now and say, good God, both
you're
of
our
you,
men.
Yeah, you two men are literally the most beautiful, well-spoken, like kind, compassionate humans, not humans, that I've ever seen. Why are they not fucking here? Right. Like, so what are we learning? Like, and that's where I'm at. It's like, what else do I need to learn to?
I think so. I look at that in like the theory of the quantum, right? Like in quantum physics, time is not the idea of linear time is a human construct. We have a clock on the wall. Time is a continuum. It's a loop. So I think the reality is we already have those partners.
Sure.
Those partners are already, they're not our soulmates when we meet them. They already are connected to us. And so really in this last week, like as these thoughts have come to me, I've been trying to like meditate and pray on like, we're
gonna be such good friends, bro.
Talking to strangers. I love you, brother.
I'm so excited. Seriously.
But like I've been trying to like talk to my wife.
Yeah.
Like whoever she is, wherever you are, wife, like wherever you're at, like. But like just feel out into her and like let her know that I'm praying for her. Let her know that I love her. Let her know that I'm here for her. Like praying to God, like I like take care of her, like share love with her, like hold her, support her. Wherever you are, whatever you're going through, I can't wait until the day I meet you in physical form.
Yeah.
But I already feel you.
Yep.
And so I think the more that I focus on that feeling, that'll come together. And whether those two beautiful women that are our wives walk through this door in 10 seconds, or we meet them 10 years from now.
Better not be 10 years from now.
Yeah, but that's our human construct, right? Being like, man, I don't want it to be 10 years from now. But like, if you were told, if God or one
Enoch.
of these entities, if Enoch dropped down in the cloud right now, it's like Lightstone.
10 years to prepare yourself. All right, cool, bro.
You're gonna be like,
sure, done.
Because it's done. If you know that the absolute perfect
Yeah.
match for you, the absolute person that you love the most, the one that you know is your soulmate that you want to spend this lifetime with and beyond in eternity. If you knew, you would just count down the days.
I agree.
You wouldn't care.
Well, I would, as you're saying, I would build myself. I'd build my home. I'd, build, I'd plant all the seeds, water them, and then grow the garden for her arrival.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, all right, man, this was wildly fun. I think we need to get out of here. Let's go to the sauna.
Dude, okay.
Let's go to the sauna.
I love it.
Bro.
Dude.
Peace.